This is millions and millions of your tax dollars parked and going nowhere.
It takes 10 times more money to operate the electric one as opposed to the diesel one.
This is a sad story. It's sad for me as mayor, and obviously the wrong choice was.
You know what's expensive? Buying a $900,000 bus that ends up sitting in a parking lot. And that's what taxpayers in South Florida are dealing with. Miami-Dade and Broward spend roughly $96 million on electric buses. Now, nearly 100 of those buses are sitting out of service. And here's a question nobody will be allowed to dodge. Who approved this deal? And who is going to pay to fix it? This is Partsman Pro, and I'm going to tell you something from a parts and service perspective. A vehicle isn't an investment because you bought it. It's only an investment if you keep it running, and that's where the electric bus story gets ugly. In this video, we're going to be reacting to Local 10 News investigates how $96 billion of your tax-paying earned money was wasted. Take a look at this.
Tonight, a shocking sight and serious questions. For weeks, Miami-Dade and Broward counties would not say where these electric buses were being stored, a location they didn't want you to see. But we found them. Nearly 100 electric buses paid for with your tax dollars just sitting out of service and taken off the road.
Millions spent, and now the big question is what happens next, and is there even a plan? Local 10 News investigator Jeff Weintz here has been digging into what went wrong.
Sky 10 above an electric bus graveyard. We counted 42 of them here, sitting at the Homestead Air Reserve Base, unused, out of service. We found even more at the Northeast Bus Facility off Miami Gardens Drive. This is millions and millions of your tax dollars parked and going nowhere. But just 3 years ago, it was a very different story.
Today I'm excited to officially unveil our brand new 40-foot Proterra ZX5 battery-powered electric bus.
Their biggest cheerleader, Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava.
I thought the day would never come. I'm so thrilled.
These buses touted as the future, the plan to convert the entire county bus fleet to electric.
We always conduct extensive safety and functionality testing, so I'm proud to share that the results have been wonderful.
Today, reality looks very different. The bus is plagued with problems and taken off the road, constantly breaking down, parts impossible to come by. The company that made them, Proterra, bankrupt. The mayor's staff.
Okay, we told them it would work at this mass magnitude because the infrastructure wasn't there. But this is where the electric bus story, it actually gets ugly. I'm not saying electric buses can never work. They can be. The problem is what happens when politicians and government agencies, they push the technology faster than the service network, the part supply, and the business model that can support it. And South Florida may have just given taxpayers a very expensive lesson. Miami-Dade bought 69 Proterra buses. Local 10 reports about 60 are now out of service. Broward has another 31 buses sitting at a landfill site, and that's almost 100 electric buses off the road at the same time, and people still need transportation. Let's continue.
Told us she's not granting interviews on this. We had to show up at a beach cleanup to ask her our questions.
This is a sad story. It's sad for me as mayor, and obviously the wrong choice was made.
Miami-Dade Transit says 69 Proterra electric buses were bought. Total taxpayer cost, $60.
And of course, no accountability. She's dodging the questions. As they say, she was dodging the interview. They have to search her down, and then all she can say is that it's a sad day. Millions of dollars wasted that could have been gone to spend it into other social programs.
$1.8 million, $19.9 million in federal grants, $4.4 in state grants, $37.5 million from your local surtax revenue, that penny tax.
If these buses are not working efficiently, not out there saving the environment, and not out there servicing the residents of Miami-Dade County, then we need to get that money back.
Miami-Dade Commissioner Roberto Gonzalez wants answers. He co-sponsored a resolution requiring a full report on what went wrong, what happens next. It also calls for a review of the county's entire electric fleet. Commissioner Natalie Melan Orbis co-sponsored the resolution.
We need to have a plan.
Okay, let me go back to that part, right? Look at the breakdown here. You're seeing it right here. Miami-Dade spent approximately $61.8 million on 69 Proterra electric buses and charging infrastructure. 19.9 million came from federal grants, another 4.4 million came from Florida, and the remaining 37.5 million came from local surtax revenue. And that taxpayers' money from several levels of government. If you want the automotive industry's sales pitch separated from the actual cost of ownership, subscribe to Partsman Pro because we're going to follow the money. But here's my first question. If these buses were purchased to provide public transportation, what exactly are taxpayers paying for when the buses aren't transporting anybody?
Another question. Is full electric the real answer down the road?
It takes 10 times more money to operate the electric one as opposed to the diesel one.
We did take a delivery of 2 additional buses from a different manufacturer, and they don't work either.
What's going to be the plan for our bus fleet going forward?
I do believe that EV is the future. And yes, we are continuing our commitment to electrifying our fleet.
This is a nationwide problem. Proterra sold 1,300 electric buses across the U.S. and Canada. Austin, Philly, Louisville are all in the same situation. Back here, Mayor Levine Cava says a detailed report on where we stand with these buses will be released to the Miami-Dade Commission soon. In the newsroom, Jeff Weiss here, Local 10 News.
And newsflash, all those Proterra buses in Canada here have been taken off the road. It's just a complete disaster. I'm not saying electric buses can never work. They can. But let's also talk about the manufacturer. Proterra filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in August 2023, and that's not any type of speculation. That's in the company's SEC filings, and this is where anyone who's ever worked in a dealership, fleet operation or repair shop should pay attention to, because when a manufacturer disappears, the vehicle doesn't disappear with it. The vehicle stays, the customer stays, and the repair bill stays. Local 10 reports that Miami-Dade experienced repeated breakdowns and difficulty obtaining replacement parts. Officials are saying that some parts were proprietary, and that's a serious fleet management problem. Think about this like your own car. Imagine buying a vehicle where the manufacturer goes bankrupt. Then the part you need isn't sitting on a shelf anywhere. Then the supplier doesn't have it. Then the vehicle sits. That's very frustrating for one car. Now, multiply that across a public transit fleet. That's when a technology decision becomes a taxpayer problem. And here's another question for you, my viewers. Who performed the risk management before these purchases were made? Did somebody ask what happens if Proterra fails? Where do we get the batteries? Where do we get the electronic components? Who supports the software? How long will replacement parts remain available? What happens if these buses doesn't reach their expected service life? And these aren't anti-electric questions, these are fleet questions, and they should have been answered before taxpayers put millions of dollars on the line. So here's where the story gets even more expensive. Federal rules generally expect heavy-duty transit buses to remain in service for about 12 years or 500,000 miles. And Local 10 reports here, Miami-Dade is seeking federal approval to replace the buses early without having to repay the federal funding associated with it. The buses aren't performing as expected, and the county wants to replace them early. And now officials are dealing with the federal government over what happens to the money that helped pay for them in the first place. And that's taxpayers' money caught in the middle. And this is why I push back when people reduce this to the argument, electric buses are bad, that's too easy. The real question is, did government create financial incentives to buy technology before agencies had enough evidence that the technology, supplier and support system could survive the full life of the fleet? And that's a much harder question to answer. And that's the question taxpayers deserve to be answered, because there are several parties involved here. The manufacturer has a responsibility for the product it's sold. The transit agencies have a responsibility for the procurement and the fleet management. The government officials have a responsibility for approving the public spending. And the people who promoted these programs have a responsibility to explain the risk, not just the benefits. Nobody gets to celebrate purchase when everything works and then disappear when the buses stop running. And that's not accountability any at all. That's just passing the bill and the blame. And here's the part that bothers me the most. The people making these decisions aren't necessarily the people who pay the consequences. The mayor in point. If a private fleet manager buys 100 vehicles that doesn't work, is somebody going to get fired? In a dealership environment, if somebody goes ahead and buy millions of dollars of inventory that can't be serviced, somebody's going to answer for it. But government can make that mistake, request another grant, request another waiver, and waive the problem down the road. And that's where taxpayers need to start asking harder questions. So before you hear another politician tell you how many electric vehicles that were purchased, ask them one simple question. How many are actually working? Not ordered, not funded, not announced, working. Because a bus sitting in a storage yard doesn't reduce emissions, it doesn't move passengers, it doesn't provide taxpayers with the service they were promised. This isn't about hating electric vehicles, it's about refusing to confuse technology with delivering results. Miami-Dade spent about $61.8 million on 69 Proterra buses and the infrastructure. Broward and Miami-Dade together, they spent $96 million on these electric buses. Nearly 100 were reportedly sitting out of service. And now, governments are trying to figure out what comes next. So, here's another question. Who actually owns this massive failure? The transit agency, the politician who approved the spending, the consultants, the lobbyists, the people who push the technology? And the simple answer is all of them, depending on what the contracts and the procurement records show. But here's something that I'm not going to accept. Nobody could have known. That's not good enough. When you spend millions of dollars of taxpayers' money, you don't get to plan only for success. You plan for failure as well. You plan for parts, you plan for repairs, you plan for bankruptcy. You're going to plan for the possibility that the technology isn't going to perform as promised. And if you don't, then somebody's going to need to explain why you were trusted with the money in the first place. This is Partsman Pro. Don't tell me what the vehicle is supposed to do. Tell me how long it will run and what it will cost to maintain, where the parts are coming from, and who is going to pay for it. And also, who is going to pay for it when it's not performing? Can't believe people are still falling for the trap of electric vehicles. I remember going to the local Walmart to shop. I saw a lady in the parking lot charging her Tesla. I went in, spent around 30 to 40 minutes shopping, filling my trolley of the basic necessities needed for the home. When I got back, she was still there sitting in the car reading her book at the charging station. Just a massive, colossal waste of time. If you want more videos like this, increase the likes of this video, share this video, and subscribe. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. The links are in the description box below. Stay sharp, stay educated, and I will catch you in the next one.